Barry Lynn to oppose tonight's motion. Mr. Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The French philosopher René Descartes wrote, "I think, therefore I am." Although I am neither French nor a philosopher, I say I have somehow ended up once again on the set of Firing Line, therefore I must have been created somehow. In fact, none of us on this team have any doubt that we have all been created somehow. Where we disagree with Mr. Buckley and his colleagues is on the relationship between evolution and our current situation. On this team, we differ on our answers to some of these great and literally cosmic questions. Is there a God? Is there purpose in the universe? But we all agree that evolution is indeed the only logically coherent and useful explanation for the development of life. Evolution is an explanation of a natural process. It is not an ideology, and nor, Mr. Buckley, is it at all fanciful. Like the theory of gravity or the theory of electromagnetism, evolutionary theory continues to be refined year by year and month by month. Yet in each case, there has been no fundamental challenge that has been made to any of these scientific doctrines since they were developed. Tonight, you will hear claims asserting fundamental scientific flaws in the notion of evolution. We'll examine such assertions and try to show how those are themselves illogical. More importantly, though, we'll demonstrate that the arguments made by the other side are based on fundamentalist religious beliefs or discredited philosophical constructs, or what we sometimes refer to as just plain nonsense. We can't afford, ladies and gentlemen, for this to become too abstract a debate, because creation science advocates from California to Alabama have already duped school boards and thus required school children to believe that evolution can somehow be debunked by alternative theories. In so doing, schools are being asked to elevate pseudoscience to the level of genuine science. What's next? Will we find the casting of astrological charts replacing telescope observations in high schools? I hope not, but I think that's the direction we might end up going. And indeed, if our children are not as prepared as those in Japan and Europe to understand what science is, to recognize the difference between a scientific question and a religious question, then they frankly will not be able to compete in the extraordinarily well-developing world of the future. Now, there is that ever so slim possibility that in the next 2 hours we may not put to rest conclusively the debate over evolution and creation. But I hope our team does make you consider the implications of this debate, that you're persuaded at a minimum that speculation is much less useful than rigorous scientific analysis, and also that you can even choose to be faithful to theism, to a belief in God, and still accept the biological theory of evolution for what it is. Finally, we're going to insist that Mr. Buckley's team that doesn't believe that evolution is viable explain then what in the world did happen to bring us to Seton Hall University tonight. As Martin Gardner once put it, if you claim the world is not round, you are obliged to tell us what shape you think it really is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn.